Hello, and how goes it? I'm Andrew, your DM for the day, along with this band of miscreants and murder hobos you see down here. We're the Dirty Rollers, and this is our Rime of the Frostmaiden campaign. So thanks for joining us. Welcome to our intro video. We're going to introduce the players, who they're playing, and due to an unfortunate mishap that we had recording our first episode, which we lost all of the audio, we're going to do a quick recap of the first episode after we get the introductions out of the way. So, first and foremost, thanks for checking us out. I'm going to do the like, comment, subscribe if you watch the end of it and you're interested in seeing what happens and how they go about solving the mysteries of Icewind Dale here. I think of what else we got going on. We should have got some new art to show off.
New art, yeah.
Yeah, I say new, but we did things a little goofy when we started recording this, so we're actually a little ways. We're almost into chapter 2 of the Frostmaiden, so we're recording this from the future campaign. So you're going to see some of the art here that won't show up again for a little while into the campaign. I promise. We did this with the Goblin campaign that we have going on too, where we had to go back and recap because we started recording in the middle of a campaign. From here on out, though, any future campaigns, we're going to do everything properly and have the session 0. I have fun plans for any future session 0s. So we'll make them a little fun with the characters, and we'll actually roll stats in our session 0 too, so we can feel the highs and lows of everyone rolling. Yeah, that's for the future. For now, we're gonna introduce everybody to our crew here for the Dirty Rollers. So first out, we have Chrissy. Why don't you tell us who you're playing in our Frostmaiden campaign here?
I'm first. I wasn't expecting that. Okay. I play Ursula. Her first, I guess her whole name, I should say her whole name is Ursula Casmil the Curious. She was nicknamed the Curious because she is super curious. She is a warlock. Her patron is the Great Old One. She's a dragonborn, black dragonborn. I think that's the most important thing to know right off the bat. She's very much into books. She's kind of a bookworm, Y-word.
Huh.
You know, Y-W-R-M, bookworm.
W-Y-R-M?
Yeah. Worm? You know?
Yeah.
Anyway.
We got you.
Anyway. She basically wants to learn everything she can about everything. She wants to know everything. Her favorite subjects are biology, herbalism, and she's into magic, particularly like mind-related magic, psychic stuff, telepathic abilities. Hence her patron is the Great Old One, which, has all to do with that kind of thing.
Don't ruin your patron, by the way, yet, since this is recorded after the fact.
Okay, so don't mention anything about the patron?
Correct. At this point,
okay.
This is the first one, the very first introduction, so we won't give anything away.
Okay, so as of right now, she doesn't know who her super awesome, amazing patron is. But anyway, she's a little bit different than most Dragonborn. A lot of Dragonborn tend to be really into like their clan and honor, and they like prioritize honor, but she doesn't so much. She just really wants to learn everything. She wants to get into everything, see what everything is about. She studies animals, plants, just everything she can get her hands on, anything she can learn about. She has a journal where she makes notes of everything she experiences. She draws and scribbles all the things she sees too. What else is important to know about? Her familiar, super important. She has a pseudo-dragon familiar named Tamo, who is just like it's like her, I don't know what you'd call it, like her perfect child.
Perfect child.
Her perfect child. She adores Tamo, and he's very important to her, like her life goals of learning things, because Tamo is very small and he can fly, so he can get to a lot more places that she can't get to. So because she is packed to the chain with Tamo, she can experience and see everything through Tamo's eyes. So he's like her little scout, and he checks out things that she can't get to herself. And that helps her a lot in learning things and researching. She also really likes small furry things, like ferrets and other small critters. She has a ferret named Cheese, and he basically just kind of hangs out in her robe pockets or sits on her shoulder. She probably likes small furry things so much because it's like an opposite attracts thing. She's very big, scaly, and kind of scary. Small furry things are really cute, and she just has a strange little tendency towards small furry cute things. What else can I... Let me see if I missed anything important. Oh, I think that's really the most part. Like, most of what's really important to her is she's all about learning everything about life. She wants to be better at magic too. She's always trying to be better at magic, so she studies any like magic arcane type books she finds. She might not always understand them, but she'll try to understand them. I think that may be the gist of it. If you don't want me saying much about
we'll try
patron.
to avoid anything that happens later on, so people can watch it without having it spoiled right here.
I guess just to describe her physically a little bit, she's very big, very tall, kind of bulky, black dragonborn. She's got the horns that curve like in toward her face, like black dragons have. She's got a tail. Not all dragonborn have tails, but she has a tail. She has one red eye and one purple eye. The purple eye is the mark of the pact with Tamo. Tamo has purple eyes, so she shares the eye color with Tamo.
We won't touch on equipment either, because that changes pretty drastically.
Okay. I was considering talking about that, but I didn't know if I should or not. So
yeah. Unless you remember what you had when we started, we'll stay away from equipment because there's some stuff in there too.
I guess that's pretty much it. She's just, her mission is to learn everything and to make her mind powers stronger. She wants to be better at psychic abilities and telepathic abilities, and she loves Tamo and cheese.
Perfect. All right. So next up we have Matt. Who are you playing?
So I play Dick Van Bovine.
You should have went with that name to begin with.
I should have. No, I play Inga Raggedpelt, who is a Manitor barbarian. Name is technically Inga, but everyone calls me Igna because... So my character backstory is that my dad wanted a daughter, but was blessed with a boy. So the name was already picked out, and he's kind of changed it over his time to be a little bit more masculine, which is weird. In a fantasy world, it really doesn't matter, but that's just a thing. I am a barbarian by original nature, has learned a couple other fighting styles and stuff as time's gone on in the military, which he joined at the ripe old age of 18, fresh out of Manitor High School, and has been in there since. Was sent to Fish Shear not too long ago to kind of help some things over there, and kind of ran into this group of people. Fire shear, not fish shear, fire shear. You're right.
Drastically different.
And since his assignment was up and he didn't really have much going on, he was like, sure, I'll tag along and do some things with you guys. That's pretty much it so far. Barbarian style, I don't know if you want to talk about that yet.
Yeah, you can do that one, because you would. I think that was when you joined.
Yeah, so one of the cool things about this particular character is his father was an elf, and so there is some innate magical background to this character. So this is a wild magic barbarian. So when raging, fun, weird things happen that are out of his technical control sometimes. Mostly positive, so that's good. I think that's pretty much it.
No, wait. Unless I missed it. You said your father was an elf.
So you want to hear that part? Yes.
Yes. We have to hear that
when you say your father's an elf, but the art that I have up on screen is definitely a minotaur.
So character-wise, Igna is very fun-loving and doesn't take things too seriously. Something he got from his parents, because his parents were very free-loving of people. His mother was a shifter and father was an elf. And Igna was conceived during a wild night when mother figured, hey, why not be a cow? And father was, doing the deed. Magic happens and Igna pops out as a minotaur. So
shouldn't it be an alphatar?
Say what?
Shouldn't it be an alphatar?
I mean, if you want to get like super technical about it, sure. You don't really worry about it too much. He was raised in a minotaur tribe because, being a shifter and an elf and a minotaur looking child was a little bit odd. So, was raised amongst the minotaur people and does kind of identify as such.
It's a good thing about a very accepting group.
Yes, I am the product of wild love, and yes, the sword that you may be seeing in the image is to scale to the rather massive walking stick that Igna was blessed with, which. Yeah, we'll come up in some fun encounters.
Yeah.
We'll see.
It comes up just about every episode.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is this art, the sword is hiding something, is what you're saying here.
There might be something, behind the forbidden door that you're not seeing. Yes.
All right. Well put.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you, James. Who are you playing?
Sorry. I am James, and I play Jiyu, a monk of the Four Elements. Oh, boy. This one's going to be brief, because he doesn't necessarily know his true history. Like, he just remembers a flash, and then running into a dwarven monk, a very elderly dwarven monk, who took him in, and at least trained him for a few years, but his what the hell was my master's name? I think I just named him Shen because it sounded really cool. I was like, Master Shen. But yeah, he basically, after a few years, Shen had passed away due to natural causes, and just leaving Jiyu with only a few years of training under his belt. So he So he decided to disguise himself with a mask, a very eerie-looking, elven-looking mask at first, and where he got the mask, maybe it was an heirloom, not an heirloom, but just something that Shen had lying around. I don't know. I can't remember precisely. But was the episode with the fire pit in that first episode, or was that afterwards?
I was trying to remember that too.
I think the first episode is after that.
It was after, because I didn't hear that part.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
But like sometime after Shen's passing, Jiyu went near some local towns, and he would basically do some vigilante work, in a sense.
Keeping the town safe.
Keep the town safe, but also getting chided by the guards because they're like, "We don't need you doing this kind of crap." And Jiyu's like, "Well, you guys are kind of spread thin already. I'm just trying to help there." Doesn't sound so Canadian, but God bless him.
Want a little Letterkenny on us?
You're a 2-ply, bud. No, sorry. No, but after some time, he had met Garo of the group, and was soon initiated into the Anthro Avengers. And after some time, wearing the mask, just trying to look as human as possible, after some time, he realized he didn't need the mask, so he one day he just threw it into a fire pit.
Yeah.
And,
Once he realized the group didn't care.
yeah. Power of friendship.
Yeah.
It's wholesome.
Yeah, listen. Your group's pretty freaky.
Oh no!
I think the most normal one in here is probably Tumpy.
And he's not very normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a far cry from normal, but he's probably the most normal. Do you have anything else, James?
No, just that.
Warforged,
Yeah.
4 elements monk.
Yes, yeah. Sorry.
Excellent. And yeah, all the art we're pulling up on screen, that's
It's
all the
beautiful.
art that James rocked out for us.
It's awesome and amazing, and I love all of it. It's all so good.
All right, next
So
up is Garo.
Hello.
Hola.
I'm gonna see my art. Actually,
It's awesome. I
Yeah,
love
this is the
it.
first time they're seeing the art.
the copies. Yes.
It's perfect.
I
It's
couldn't
so
leave it out.
It's so good.
Magical shiny codpiece.
I want to be brand loyal, you know? I want to be brand loyal.
That's perfect. I love it.
It has. It makes me
So
think of like it's either like a fro cap or like a coin purse on top.
I actually looked up cod pieces, and like, it was like they're usually made out of like a weird velvet with like something underneath to kind of give it that shape. But I was like, well, let's have that part metal. Then we can add like the pubic region be the velvety red maroon color.
It's gonna live on in my head as like a fro cap for him there.
It's perfect.
Andy granted me that cod piece because before in the ones we weren't recording, every encounter I was looking for a cod piece. So finally, Andy gave me a cod piece, and it was a magical one. So.
Yeah, and when this campaign starts, yeah, you already have it, so you can go ahead and say what it does.
Oh yeah, it basically blinds people. I can magically blast out a big burst of light from it. So I can blind people with my crotch.
There you go.
A shine.
All right. Well, I am, as you can see, a big cat person, a tabaxi or tabaxi. I don't know how you want to pronounce it, but named Garo, and I'm a bard, a swashbuckling bard, swords bard. And I'm 7 feet tall, so I'm super tall. I think most of us are all pretty damn tall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Except for Tumpy.
Except for Tumpy.
Yeah, Tumpy's the shortest one in our group. Garo's background. I have to go through my stuff here. He was he doesn't know his family. He was found by a dragonborn that was coming back from getting provisions for his tavern, and he found an overturned cart in a ditch, or overturned like a covered wagon type thing. And so he went to check it out and saw that it was mainly looted, but he did find like a bundle of what do you call that? I can't think of all the words.
Burlap?
Burlap. That's it.
Burlap sack?
A bundle of
Best
burlap
place for
stuff in the
cats.
back. And unfolded it and found basically these two ancient scimitars wrapped in the burlap, stuffed in the back, and then there was a barrel underneath it. And so he pulled the barrel out and looked inside, and inside there was basically a kitten wrapped in a silk scarf.
Oh.
Underneath all that. And so he took it back to his tavern and thought he had a cat to take care of the mice problems, but eventually found out it wasn't just a cat. Because I guess tabaxis in that region aren't very often seen or known of. So Garo grew up with basically a bunch of Dragonborn family that took him in, and then also made friends with the local bard that stayed at the tavern, and learned all his skills and everything from that bard. And he was kind of like a retired bard that had been seeing his days of traveling and everything, and was settling down. He was getting old, so he kind of passed on all his knowledge onto Garo. And eventually, that bard passed away from drinking too much.
Oh, no.
And Garo decided it was time for him to kind of see the world and move on and go and explore. And the way Garo is, he just wants to explore and experience everything he possibly can. And I
Would
think that's
Garo
about
and
it,
Ursula
right?
get along good for that?
Yeah.
If there's anything new, he's like, oh, let's try it out. Oh, what's that? I want to taste that.
This is true.
Actually,
oh, yeah.
I believe Ursula and Garo have done certain things like that together.
Yes.
Tried out new things.
Oh, trying out new things and tasting things.
Oh, yeah, the tasting
Garo
things.
has a particular quirk here. Yeah. Out with it.
Oh, they'll see. They'll see.
I mean,
We're gonna keep it a secret. You have to watch the episodes to find out what Garo's
Yeah.
weird quirk is.
yeah, I get
Although
it.
he did it a lot longer before I ever joined, so it was kind of like
It's accumulated, and he's kept
he had a
doing
collection.
it. So he's been consistent with it. All right. So that's Garo, the College of Swords bard. Tumpy, you're up next.
I'm Tumpy, the Battle Rager, Barbarian.
Oh, I guess this is Jake.
No,
Playing
I'm Tumpy.
Jake he's Tumpy. He's just straight up Tumpy.
Ooh.
Glass art there.
Yes. Well, look at that.
As far
Looks
as
just like
Tumpy can
Clint.
remember, he's always lived in the spine of the world. Had quite a few different parents, ranging from Yetis to Dwarven Battle Ragers that got him from the Yetis. The Battle Rager that saved him from the Yetis, taught him the dwarvish ways, how to be a Battle Rager. He never talked much about himself, but he did have a lot to say. So when he died, I decided to take his armor and redeem his name, which I do not know, and his clan, which I do not know. And I decided to start in Icewind Dale because that was more or less the closest.
So when you say saved him from his parents, you mean violently murdered his Yeti parents?
More or less.
Oh.
There was a period of where he had to tame me to get me to be normal. It still comes out every once in a while.
Yeah.
This
All the
is an
time.
awesome story.
And so what's a as a battle rager, because they're one of the least seen barbarians, I think. What is Tumpy's favorite method of dealing with enemies?
I mean, if you can bring that art back up, you can kind of see.
Let me hop on my Telestrator.
Like that big one up top.
Mhm.
I like putting that through things. Then the little ones all around. You know, you just warm embrace.
Warm embrace.
The old hug and shred.
Hug and shred. That's a good way of putting it.
So
Yeah.
hug and tug.
That sounds a little bit more.
I think Tumpy is about
Alright.
Tumpy's about one person you don't want to tug her from. That doesn't seem like it would end too well. I don't know what's the armor look like on the inside of your palms.
Soft.
It's not soft at all.
Sandpaper.
Yeah, I was just gonna say sandpaper.
Sandpaper.
One of Tumpy's signature sandpaper tug jobs.
Oh God. It's like a cheese grater.
Yeah.
Cool. You have anything else to add to Tumpy?
Not really.
One from a DM's side here. One note I will say about Tumpy is the Battle Rager is kind of, as it's written, is kind of lackluster. So I'm still constantly tinkering with Tumpy's stats and things. One of the major things you guys might notice when we play is Tumpy's magic armor is +1 right now.
Yeah.
So since his armor is essentially his weapon, his +1 is added to his attack rolls. I'm trying to think where the other changes we had when we started out recording. Do you remember?
You gave me a spike attack with my helmet.
Yep, that's a special attack. And he uses it pretty frequently, so that should pop up pretty quick.
And added damage for grappling. So it's always a constant 3.
Okay. And the grapple damage, I can't remember, is scales with your proficiency?
Right now it's just a +1 for the magic armor. But
Okay.
all that's still we've been talking about.
Cool.
The
Yep.
proficiency stuff.
So if anybody sees stuff that doesn't quite line up with how the Battle Rager is written, it's because I'm kind of adjusting it to be a little more on par with other barbarians and some of the other party members. Because as it is, just to do what he's doing now, he's had to take 1 feat, I think, or 2 to get to where you're at. Probably only 1, because
I think 1.
yeah. So he's had to build his character a specific way, take grappler feat, I think.
But yeah, plus you've given me stuff. They just don't scale at all, really.
They don't really scale
That's
well
a
with other
shame.
barbarians and characters. And in the Goblin campaign specifically, there's a character that I removed the Dwarven restriction off of the Battle Raging, which you guys will see later on. For anybody watching both campaigns, you'll see a Battle Rager character show up in the Goblin campaign that very obviously does not have the Dwarven part of that restriction there. So I tinker with them a little bit. They're fun. Most of us at this point, or half of us, at least half of us, are big on the Legend of Drist books from R.A. Salvatore. And you'll see the love for the Battle Rager come out from reading those books. All right. But if you don't have anything else, Jake, we'll move on to
My dad's plant. I'm done.
You just said that you have no idea who your family is.
I just changed it.
Just now, he changed the story.
Not canon.
Alright.
Alrighty. We'll move over to Melissa. Who are you playing?
My name's Melissa, and I play Cradle Jakili. She is a Glacia tiefling. She's very short for her race. She's only about 5'5". She is a monk, Way of Mercy. Look at that artwork. James.
Look at that staff, though.
The staff is my favorite.
Look at
Well, I
those
can't-
baloney wings.
I can't I can't mention the staff yet, though.
Oh, right, yeah.
Shit.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
sorry.
all right. No, that's all right. It can be in the
no.
picture.
It's good. It's good. Okay,
Lord.
so she is a light pink skin, as you can see. She has freckles, a pale pink mullet, round yellow irises in her eyes, curled horns that go from dark gray to pale gray to the points. However, her most noticeable feature is what looks like a cape from afar. However, hanging on her back are pink, boneless wings that are tattered and worn, and they just flippy flop and hang like a meat cape. And they don't smell so good. She wears mainly black leather. She has some accents of like a golden yellow piss color on her shoulders and down below her belt. Metal trim. She wears a raven skull on her chest. Her gauntlets and boots have white trim on the left side and black on the right side to represent her hand of healing and her hand of harm. She carries moon cards with her from her ancestors that she often looks for guidance and comfort for her and her friends and strangers that really aren't interested most of the time, but she does it anyway. So I use actual moon cards for when I'm doing that, just to pull out randomly and see what we get.
Which
And they're
have been surprisingly and stupidly accurate for
The moon
Yeah.
cards have been so awesome. They line up with everything.
which like when Igna
don't
was
ruin anything ahead of time if you're thinking
that's
about
not
it.
that's not
Okay.
recorded, is it?
It might not be. I'm just saying for anything in the future, like past episode one.
No. I was just thinking of the one that I don't think got recorded that cracked me up. But anyway, so she also has a mask that she wears. It's a crying visage, also known as the tragedy mask, which I'm sure people have seen. She wears that when she goes into battle sometimes. When she wears it, she likes to do this like laughing, crying sound just to freak people out. She carries a journal that people don't see her using very often, but when she does, she tends to mutter things to herself while writing. And on the cover, you can see this really poorly drawn purple lips, like purple mouth with tongue coming out of it. And the tongue is purple and forked. That's something I can't say. She's chaotic good, pretty darn oblivious. She may be wise from her monk training and follow the guidance of her cards, but her intelligence is really freaking low. She's easily distracted, comes up with really dumb ideas and methods for using her spells and abilities. Like she ain't doing it right, but she trying, you know. She tries to be helpful and do nice things, but usually it's back-assward and makes people very uncomfortable.
Yes.
She does make everyone very uncomfortable.
Her purpose for joining the group is traveling to gather information, but with her intelligence, she doesn't realize how bad she is at it. She wants to see and experience and learn a lot of things. Her parents raised her and to try to learn as much as possible, so she's trying to break out of her shell. Her parents came from separate tiefling bloodlines and had been in hiding from a demon lord that they had crossed, so they could join their current house. Her mother taught her to practice spirituality and astrology, and her father taught her to pay attention to creatures big and small to understand the secrets of life. But she has no idea what that means, so she stares blankly a lot and likes to touch things that she probably shouldn't. She keeps to herself a lot of the time. She really likes the people she's traveling with. She enjoys watching Ursula draw, and she really loves watching Jiyu do his dope monk shit in the mornings. She looks up to Jiyu's grace and strength, and she really wants him to train her, but she's too shy to ask. Though her mother was elegant and graceful, Cradle has no concept of personal space or social etiquette.
No.
She's a mouth breather. And if she's not mouth breathing, her nose whistles unless she picks it. So yeah, she makes people really uncomfortable, although she has the best intentions in mind.
I like how this started off as like this nice, elegant monk, and then it just devolves into like, just kidding. Breathe through my mouth, pick my nose. What is Cradle's favorite way of healing people?
Finger in the ear hole. Bing.
Yep. In the staff,
Oh my god.
I believe you get the staff before we started here. No?
I don't think so.
That was my bad. That was like just the Halloween episode.
I think you got it on the way. No, you're fine, James. I think you got it on the way to Burden Shander.
Yeah, I think she did.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So I should say what it is.
Yeah, you can say this. That's fine.
I got it when I got my hat.
Ooh, where are my notes on that? Hold on. I just.
That was before we started recording.
Yep.
Hold on just a second. Oh, let me grab my laptop.
I also forgot to say, as
Oh, you
Jiyu,
don't-
he enjoys knitting. I forgot to say that.
Oh yeah, that's important.
Oh, yes.
He knitted Tamo and Cheese's sweaters.
Among other things that you'll have
Yeah,
to watch to find out what else.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we should probably keep that one.
James-
Currently working on wing muffs for the boneless meat wings.
My meat flaps.
For a second, I thought you were going to say the boneless meat queen.
The boneless meat queen.
I'm writing that down.
That is my new title. Oh my god. For my
Bonus.
staff. Wait, does that mean I find out what my mask did before I got the staff, or was that after?
No, yeah, you'll have known what your mask does.
I swear you told me about the mask in a recording.
I probably
He
reminded
might have
you
reminded you.
because
Yeah.
you went quite a while without using it. So yeah,
He probably just reminded you.
you can say what your staff and your mask are. I mean, they're not like super
Okay.
big secrets for you or anything.
Well, the mask is a runic tragedy mask of mercy. It's got a little glowing rune on it when it's working. Should I say what it actually does? Does it matter?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Allows for rerolls on ones for damage or healing with my hands. And the staff has 4 creepy carved totems, as you can see. They don't look happy or friendly, but Cradle cherishes the crap out of it. It's a staff of healing, and she can whack pain into foes or whack heals to her hose. So it does damage and healing.
I do not believe that's how I wrote that, but
That is a
that's
great quote.
what it does.
Great tagline.
So again, I'm customizing stuff for them. Monks aren't normally supposed to have a hand of healing, but she's the healer, and sometimes these guys really need healing, so it did away with the restrictions on that, and she can use it as her monk weapon. So that's all the character intros. You'll have heard us by now say more than a few times about before we recorded. So we had kind of started this out as a different group, different campaign. But once we wanted to get into Frostmaiden proper, we swapped some characters out, added new characters, kind of changed things up a little bit. So the problem that we had getting into Frostmaiden was that everybody's a little over leveled. You'll see that right away once we start here. I think we're supposed to start at level 1. They were 5 or 6? 5, I think.
I want to say 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5.
So you'll for anybody that's familiar with Rime of the Frostmaiden, and I do give reminders of this at the beginning of the episodes, you'll notice some of the encounters are a bit different. They're tweaked or tuned a little bit just to add some challenge to what would otherwise just be a walk in the park for them. So a lot of the encounters are changed up. They're slowly catching up. We're getting towards chapter 2 to where they should be for their level. I think that's really the only part of that I need to cover. So then as I said before, we lost the audio for episode 1 because we're still new. We're still learning all this. It's very much a learn as you go kind of experience for us. It gets better. You'll see the quality gets better as we go along. Maps get better, bounce around different map builders. Actually, that's more for the Goblin. Most of the maps for Icewind Dale are inside the module here in Roll20. But yeah, we grew a little bit. We lost the audio, so we're going to do our quick little recap here. So the group trekked into Icewind Dale, specifically went to Bryn-Shander, where they were sent to deliver a package to Ogden
Regis.
Flamebeard, not Regis. Regis is dead.
Oh.
They were sent to deliver a package to Ogden Flamebeard at the Kelvin's Comfort Inn, or at least to talk to Ogden rather, to find out if he knows where Ragamel is, who they were supposed to deliver the package to. Once they talked to Ragamel, you delivered your package, and he opened it up, and you know what, Ursula? This is up Ursula's alley. Do you remember what you guys delivered to Ragamel that he opened and eventually gave to you?
Cal, you mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cal.
Yep.
I don't know how to say her full name. It was a Calendar.
Calendarnathera.
Calendarnathera.
No, not like a calendar.
Yeah.
Calendarnathera.
That. Yes. That's her name.
So you can see, this is her token here. She's kind of a smartass. Tumpy hates her. She likes to give him shit, and she's kind of floats around and helps the party. But she
Helps in quotation.
helps
the party.
moral assistance. Moral. It is a what was she? She was a white dragon.
Yeah, white dragon.
It's the
I remember.
the skull of an ancient white dragon.
And didn't she say it was like, what, a couple hundred years ago since her consciousness was put in that thing? Or since
She was killed over
left?
2,000 years ago.
Ew.
Her spirit, the spirit of an ancient white dragon, was trapped in this golden sculpture of a white dragon skull.
Hmm. I need to
So-
change her icon. I just realized. You said she's golden?
Yeah, she's a gold skull. But that's
Yeah, I'll have to change that.
I like her.
I thought she was white gold.
Same here.
White gold?
Mm-hmm.
I think that might have been something we added to it, since white dragon spirit, gold statue, white gold.
Yeah. White gold.
We can smelt her down, is what you're saying.
You can certainly try.
Yeah, so to make our group even weirder, we have a floating dragon skull that talks all the time.
So
Yeah.
yeah, and as everyone watching can see, this block here is all of Ursula's menagerie that she carts around and controls. She's
I carry
not a
all
ranger
the things.
or a druid rather. So essentially, they're been given Cal for now. They're supposed to return Cal back
I'm
to.
never gonna return her.
Yeah, I have a feeling that's gonna happen. But technically, they're supposed to return Cal back to the original sender in Luskin, but I don't see that happening.
Nah.
Ursula is probably not going to give her up. It's something too mysterious.
Never gonna give you
So
up.
while they were at the inn, they overheard a shield dwarf woman talking about some. Actually, I don't think you overheard it from her. You just heard some patrons talking about some murders that were happening around Icewind Dale. And when you asked about it, one of the patrons in the inn had come over to tell you some more specifics and to see if maybe your group wanted to help her solve the problem here. The shield dwarf in question was Hlyn Trollbane, and she tasked the group with tracking down one Suffolk Caltro, who was employed by a traveling merchant company called Torgs. I gotta be careful about how much you give away here.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll just leave it at that. I think that's about where they got in the first episode. They got to Bryn Shander. They delivered their parcel to Ragamel, and then got Cal in return to tag along with them. They talked to Hlyn Trollbane and kind of got the gist of what was going on in Icewind Dale here. Eternal winter essentially is happening. Everything you see in the chat is false because Jake's a liar. Eternal winter. They believe that Arl, I don't know.
Oral. Oral.
It's a weird name to say.
It is.
It's causing eternal winter and night in Icewind Dale here. So they're trying to figure out what the deal is with the eternal winter and constant nighttime here. They're trying to find, this is the group, trying to find Suffolk Caltro and Torg's traveling merchant company. And I think that was about it for the first episode. They just kind of got introduced to the area. At the end of the episode, end of episode 1, they met, I think it was a trio of dwarves that were talking about being attacked out on the tundra on the way back from Kelvin's Cairn. They had lost a sled full of metal ingots and had asked you guys for help. So you kind of got the Brinchander, turned in one quest, and got a couple others. Aside from the were-rat thing, does anyone else have anything else to add to that little recap?
I don't think so. Do we mention the were-rat thing?
We do, because that happened before. So, that's Igna's thing. What happened to you, Igna?
Well, I was sleeping peacefully. Everything was fine. Just wanted to rest like a normal, Manator would. But then got attacked in the middle of the night by some thief. Of course, because of the confined quarters, I couldn't really do anything because, I'm a giant Manator wielding a greatsword. So, unfortunately, I was bitten by this thing, and I failed a con save, and now I'm a were-rat.
All things were-rat.
Yeah, all things the were-rat. I wish it could be cool, but apparently I can't. Yay, extra decks. Cool. It's at this moment, he's come to understand that this is a thing. The party is aware. There has been a turn, but based on things, we luckily it hasn't been too bad.
Not yet.
But there's still a lot more book to go. So
there is.
We'll see.
Awesome. All right, so that wraps up our character and player intros and the episode 1 recap for our Rime of the Frostmaiden campaign. I really hope it drags you in and makes you want to see what else they've done. I think from here on out, from episode 2 on, there should not be any more audio issues that I'm aware of. At least not where we
not yet.
Not where we lost an entire episode's worth of stuff. The Goblin one got hit up a little worse. I think we lost 2 whole episodes of that same bug, which is pretty rough. But I think after that we figured it out. We started doing test recordings beforehand, which just saved our bacon. But like I said, we learned as we go. Keep getting a little bit better. I hope it gets more and more fun for everyone to listen to. So thanks again for watching our intros, and we hope to see you checking us out later.
Yeah.
Anybody have anything else they want to talk about?
I don't think so. I don't anyway.
All right. Well, we'll hope to see everybody in episode 2, and you can follow along with our shenanigans and murder hobo-iness. Remember, smash the like button if you like the intros and everything, and subscribe so you don't miss out on any future episodes. And thanks again, and we'll see you guys later.
Bye!